Hey guys, it's me again, Orange What Ifs. Where I last left off is Deku, and let's see, Night-Eye, Bubble Girl, Centipede, Eri, and Mirio have all landed on Dragon Island, where Deku is the undisputed champion, or ruler, quote-unquote. Him saying that they should double everything, double the guard, double the amount of warrior class what he would be saying as, like flying and warrior class and such at the ready. Just ready, just in case anything has to go down. He has the very few Asian dragons that have sort of submitted to him, because he's he's pretty much beaten them down, who have come to try and take the island, in a way, since like I've said, they believe themselves, since they were pretty much worshipped as, and it's kind of ingrained to them, to that they are gods. But Deku has sort of beaten these ones down, proving that they are no gods, and if they are gods, Deku is a better god than them. As this is said, they all pretty much submit, and are all listening to him. Deku having all his forces at the ready to defend this place. Now, this will probably be a very short episode and such. Because after this, I gotta do more Gladiator. So, as Bell and them are readying up, Bell's like ready to go fight. Not Bell, Deku. Dang it. Deku's ready to go fight. He has all his forces ready. When at this very moment... Essentially, to get rid of this large congregation, Shigaraki sends as many Nomu as they have, along with some very powerful members from the League, because I'll say they're buffing up, and the whole Dragon Hunters have built up quite a lot of numbers and are bringing in some of their old resources. This is like a last-ditch attempt to get rid of Deku. So, they're like militarized. So, after a little bit, you just hear several flying dragons are taken down. Battleships and such, or ships have been modified to be as attack boats and such, come in raining fire down on the island, with several submarines and such pretty much fighting off, using their torpedoes and such to fight against the sea serpents, with helicopters and such fighting flying dragons. The other dragons, such as the Asian ones, are trying to attempt to use their whole thunderstorm abilities and such to control the weather. They're being cancelled out by modified Asian dragons that have been given a massive power boost, as well as being fused with other things. So they all come to clash. Deku's overseers and them all going out and fighting. Deku essentially telling Night-Eye that she is to take all of them and get underground. That the dragons will handle this. That this place is pretty much a fortress. As they say that, a giant portal opens up and several more flying abominations and Nomu come out. And there's a horde of them. They've been cranking them very low tier ones out non-stop. Their plan is to swarm them, trying to force a path to Eri. But knowing this, Deku's again being acted as this living artillery. He has several decently powerful drakes and such protecting Eri in them, with lesser flying ones to fly around and burn them alive. As Deku takes off, he uses his energy beam and just starts cutting a swath through the enemies, as he cuts through them with his laser beam, causing massive explosions, sending dozens of them flying everywhere. Stop yelling, you with that happening, Deku decides that they are actually doing very well. But at this moment, a special team has been sent in, including the 8 bullets and such. They're pretty much bashing their way, since the muscular dude, if I can like take life energy and such, if I like life or like energy from people and distribute to him throughout his entire body, that's why he's so giant. He's essentially has Deku's ability, but it works on people. As he sucks up the energy from several dragons, using his fist and bashing his way through dozens of them, with Dobby burning several of them alive. Toga's in the back taking blood and such, I guess. Then there's let's see, Twice is doing like making doubles of like the Rampa and such. Rampa having a blast since he's having a bunch of fight to the deaths with giant dragons. And Overhaul at this point is just making his way to the centerpiece. Deku ordering his dragons around to try and get them like covered, but he sees that ain't working, so he takes his attention from the front lines, and the Overseers and Asian dragons are pretty much holding the lines very well. The Asian dragons are clashing with the more powerful abominations, the Overseers giving orders and such, and the sea serpents pretty much taking care of submarines. Now, Deku, using his energy beams and such, keeps on cutting, like raining fire or raining plasma or whatever down upon Shizaki's and his group. Sloshed and all those ones are taking a back seat. They're all like moving and pushing their way forward, trying to remember if any of them have anything special. Overhaul using what he could and has created a gas that would take things back in time, like sort of like the bullets that are to erase quirks. But he hasn't figured out how to erase the whole dragon ability, since they go back much, much farther. So he doesn't really have a plan for that. They're actually getting pretty close to where Eri and them are hiding. They have an idea that Deku would keep them at the centerpiece of the island, which is just a giant mountain. As Overhaul and like the entire 8 bullets, except for like a few, like I would imagine Sloshed and not Rampa, Sloshed and, well, pretty much just Sloshed. He's like trying to drink, but since, well, he's drinking and other dragons are pretty much snap him up immediately and tear him apart. Several drakes do. Now with the rest, Deku flies down, landing on the whole mountain, charging up the beam and just cutting down through a few of them. The big guy tries to like tank it, but it cuts straight through him, highly energized and such. And as he's like cut in half, his body goes like, as it lands, they don't notice it, but then it goes, sending them all in massive directions. Rampa rushing forward and going for the punches. Him landing the punches, Deku just picking him up and smashing him into the ground and throwing him. With Shizaki sending massive spikes to him. The dragon hunters and such are losing badly. The Nomu and the abominations are being culled very quickly. This is a losing battle. Shizaki knows he must capture Eri before all of them are gone. Kurogiri is supposed to help him with that, but, you know, as it's going right now, they're all gonna die. The other, like, guys come rushing in. The one with the crystallized body smashes into Deku's leg, getting immediately thrown away. The, like, very hungry guy trying to chomp into him, getting crushed again. And the guy who tries to steal things, well, sorry, he can't do a thing, since there's nothing to steal. They were trying to think, oh, maybe he'll have some, like, other, more dragons and such, that can turn into people with weapons. No. There's nothing like that. It's completely a dragon island. Him getting smashed away. The three of them being dealt with. Rampa has been dealt with. Giant Muscle Dude has been dealt with. The ones that are going to be the most trouble is probably Truth. Sloshed is dead. So it's going to be like the League of Villains and such are all that's remaining. The Shield Dude, that was working with Rampa in the original, tries to set up a barrier surrounding them. He's like, you can't get through this barrier. Shizaki's like, that's true, so we're just gonna turtle up. Deku going like, massive breath in, highly pressurized beam, aiming it straight at the Shield Dude, as it just like, it takes like 20 seconds, then it goes piercing straight through it, hitting him. He's like, what? As he falls down, giving a massive roar, charging forward, smashing and clawing and biting. Dobby blasts him in the eyes a bit with the fire. Shizaki using his thing. Toga stabbing him, like with throwable knives. Twice trying to copy, like, Dobby and such, to, like, get it to work. Then there's Muscular's down. Yep, that's it. As they all are driven back, slowly but surely. Shizaki's like, fine, you want to do it like that? He taking the members that are already dead, like, Muscle Dude, and the and the Shield Dude, him taking their abilities. As that happens, like, the League of Villains were told to fall back, and he's like, you guys aren't any help. Go and try to grab Eri. As he does it, he goes like, doing that whole massive power up. This point, the Drakes and such are still at the ready to go and fight. I forget his name, the Marble Dude. I remember his name, but I'm trying to remember it. Oh, gosh. Magician. Whatever his name is. I forget his name. I have it on the tip of my tongue. But it's just not coming to my mind. They all saying, so, who do we grab first? We gotta get past all of them, plus this, so let's just work on it. As they start fighting their way through the Drakes and such. The flying ones has been long since, like, told by Deku to go assist with the front lines and that he would hold this position. That being said, Deku's facing off against Shizaki, who has access to those two things. Now, I'm not sure if he gets the access abilities to the whole stamina and such, or life force. But he tries to train Deku. Deku just immediately taking that life force from the area, causing several trees to die. Him coming to clash with Shizaki over and over again. Shizaki trying to use the whole the whole touch and, like, cause him to explode thing. He's not able to. So he's trying to win this with brute strength and the shield. He throwing up several smaller shields. Deku punching each of them, like, breaking each one. He's, like, gone as big as he can, and he's trying to, like, go, like, just smash it through with his tail, bites, and whatever he can use, blasting them away. He even at one point is able to break through multiple of them with his tail after charging up a bit of his strength, crushing the opposition. But at the moment, he's taking a lot of stabbing and such. Like, the spikes and such coming out of the ground are doing a lot of damage. Him coming to fight for him. The rest of pretty much the entire Dragon Hunters armada and such have been taken down all those no moves and such. So now all the dragons are flocking to his position to come and assist him. He's battered and bruised. His face is very scarred through the spikes and such. Him having multiple punctures and such. The Vanguard Action Squad, that was the name, Vanguard Action Squad, being essentially beaten back by Mirio and Night Eye. Bubble Girl's there, along with Centipedal, so they're all doing their part. As they get forced out, as they get forced out, they're like, this is pointless. As Twice is like, yeah, man, what are we gonna do? This is completely stupid. We have orders and such. And he's like, Kurogiri, get us out of here. As you say. Overhaul the last one remaining. As he's like, Eri can do so much, can't you see it? As he tries a latch-ditch attempt to attack Deku. It being pointless, as Deku just immediately tears off his arm. And since he isn't reforming it, he's like torn it off and thrown it away, tearing Chizaki apart bit by bit, leaving only his little arm, his armless and such body. It's unable to reform and such, so he's standing there he's like they're very weakened. Drawing up like standing up, barely, I guess, in a way, like not standing, but up, brings up his fist, and I'll say, I don't know what his leg and such looks like, but I'm not sure if it's same, but I'll say he can, like, curve his, like, fist, and he, like, is able to, like, somehow just get his fist or something, and just immediately brings it down, smashing it into the guy, into Overhaul, completely ending that. That final threat dealt with, Deku lets out a roar of victory. The dragons have lost quite a few, their number, but they'll be able to recover. The Overseers and Asian dragons are pretty good. There's nothing wrong that has happened to them. They're all fine. But they pretty much, the dragon hunters, all their military might is gone. That was a latch-ditch attempt, like I said, to get rid of Deku. The only ones who are remaining are the scientists and such, who will have to build back up, but it would take them decades, if not like over a century, just decades, just to rebuild or regain from this very severe loss. So, as that is all settled, Deku takes a serious, is like, I can't, we'll have to wait till tomorrow. Everyone else, high alert! As Deku and them, that, like, the day after, have all the villains rounded up and such, none of them have recovered. The ones who are dead and such, well, they're dead. Rampa, those three, the guy with clock hair, all of them are, like, just unconscious and are taken away. After Night Eye calls up All Might saying that, bring a police boat and someone who can cancel quirks. Aizawa and them are entering dragon waters and such. As they're waiting, Deku sent an overseer. As one of the sea serpents tried to do something, they're shouted off by this overseer, telling them that these are friendlies and that they are not to be harmed. As that happens, the sea serpent just, like, roars back and just swims away, back to its designated area. As that happens, All Might and them land on the island. Aizawa, Ryu, like ones that could go toe-to-toe with several dragons at once, which include Ryu, All Might, possibly Endeavor, President Mike, and Gang Orca, and all of them, and yada yada yada. With Aizawa there to, like, for the prisoners, as they, like, a path is pretty much cleared for them. Several bodies of dragons, abominations, shipwreckage, everything's left. As they come and they see the path that was cleared, they see the destruction that was caused. As all the villains and such are rounded up, being pretty much are still unconscious, as Deku has declared it. Shizaki just almost like a paraplegic, except he doesn't have any arms or legs. All Might's like, Midoriya did this? It's like, yes, I did, as he comes walking out in his fourth degree dragon mode, but he isn't massive as he was that night. He's like, I had to use all my power and such. So, as that is taken care of, they trade Eri off. And they all talk. Them trying to figure out what's this and how Deku achieved this. Well, talks about how after this place was cleared, several of the dragons decided to settle down here, and eventually foliage and such, just after having the rest of the buildings destroyed, foliage quickly took over, and he had several dragons and such bring in livestock and such here, so that way they could somewhat have a farm and such. Some dragons actually being able with some sentience and such that are not overseers, but they are like laborers and such. Those ones are like pretty much low-level drakes and such. They've been giving the orders to look after the animals. Now, take in mind, it is very difficult. So, out of over 100 dragons and such, over 100 to 300 dragons that are there on that island, only 8 of them have clawed their way back from insanity or their primal instincts. The rest being either they can transform back at any time, or they just are feral. So, but most of them consist of the feral, and a minority is the ones who clawed back, and more than just minority have just stayed in dragon form, accepting their whole role, as they would say. Deku saying he's pretty much the undisputed alpha of this. Some of them may try to challenge him, but then he just puts them in their place. But yeah. Well, as they are all get back, and Eri has the whole thing done with them. Night Eye does not die in this. Yeah, Mirio doesn't lose his quirk. So many things will have changed from this. So, yeah. Is there anything else I can go on? No, not really. But I thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a nice day, nice night, nice life. I will continue this, well, later on when there's more seasons. After this, it's, like I said, more What If Bell Was a Gladiator. Pray to whoever that I don't keep on saying Deku, Deku, Deku when I mean Bell, Bell, Bell. And again, hope you all have a nice day, nice night, nice life.